and welcome to our live crafting session this evening. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin Up demonstrator. I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. Let me introduce you to the card that we made yesterday. And we were using the stamp set called Wisteria Wishes, as you can see. And we created a pretty wisteria card just using the basic stamp set. I didn't use any extra items other than a mask to a bit of colouring in. I didn't use the dies or anything, but there is a really nice die set that goes with this. So let me show you the card in detail. So I stamped this in Highland Heather, and then the detail on the top was in Gorgeous Grape, and then I added the same detail onto the envelope, and the sentiment on the front says, "To a friend who's all kinds of wonderful," and I added a little bit more of the wisteria flowers coming down here. So a really pretty simple card to create. This stamp set can also be turned around, and you can use these upright this upright foliage and then turn these round so that they're upright and they look like delphiniums or something similar. Almost, they're a bit too tall for wallflowers or things like that, and a bit too wide for red hot pokers, but so you can do that. But what I wanted to do was something completely different with this, and that is to make, you probably guessed it, is to make a Christmas card from the wisteria. And we're basically going to use these, and if I turn them round, you'll see, hopefully, they look a bit like Christmas trees this way round. So I've got two colourways. I've got blue and I've got green. So I'm going to have a go at both just to see what they look like. So I have got the set of 3 and also the single one as well. And I've got some pieces of basic white. Hi Minda, thanks for joining us. Let's pop these on a block. So it's always nice when you can get more use out of your stamps than just the images as intended. And that's one of the nice things about being part of the demonstrator base, is that you get lots and lots of different ideas. Now I'm sure I've seen this done as Christmas trees, so I'm definitely not saying this is an original one by any shape or form. But I just thought it would make a nice something different. So what I'm looking for is what colour I'm going to use. So I think I'm going to use Evening Evergreen. I've got some Evening Evergreen ribbon. And hi Heather, I hope you're well. And I've also got some soft sea foam and soft succulent. So I don't know how many of those colours I'm actually going to use. We'll just give it a go and see. So let's start. I should bring this round here, then I'm not reaching across the camera all the time. So I hope everybody is well. I am just going to pop a layer underneath here just to protect that bottom piece of grid paper, so I can remove this if I need to. Okay, glasses are coming off, folks. And so what I want to do is create a scene of Christmas trees. Hi Tracy, nice to have you join us again. So I'm just stamping these, and then I'm going to stamp either in a lighter ink or I'm going to stamp off, I'm not quite sure. So these come as a set of 3, and there'll be nothing to stop you cutting those down if you wanted to. Obviously the 3 go together to hit the wisteria, but okay. So just going to pop a couple of these in, and then I'm going to switch out to a lighter colour to do the infill and the background. Just looking for my chamois, which I've managed to hide underneath here. Okay. Hi Louise, thanks for joining us. So I'm going to try soft sea foam. This might be too light because I know I haven't got a great deal of ink on here, but we'll see how it goes. So this is an alternative Christmas tree scene using the wisteria flowers. Okay. And I can also use the single detail flower to add single bits in, because obviously these come as a set of 3. Like so. So I'm just going to fill these in at the back, and you really want to use a lighter colour for the back if you can. Like so. There we go. And I thought I would also try one in blues. See what that looks like. Okay, and I wonder. Hi Claire. I might, let's have a look, introduce soft succulent. Let's see. That's a bit too dark. Let's just. I had a bone folder here. Just going to take some of this ink to the side. And see. So I hope everybody's had a good day. We had rain this morning, but it's been a lovely day the rest of the time for us here. Right, let's have a look and see what that looks like. Yes. Okay, so by moving the ink over, I've got a lighter ink colour. There we go. So I want the effect of a forest. Hi Brenda. So something completely different today, Brenda. We're using our Wisteria Wishes to create a tree scene for a Christmas card. Okay, let's put one up here, like so. Go, and then I'm just going to use this detailed one with the darker evening evergreen just to fill in some of this at the bottom. So we do have a sale going on at the minute. You might have seen my earlier posting, and all of the stamp sets, the dies, punches and the embossing folders from the annual catalogue are all on sale until tomorrow night. They do, don't they, Brenda? And I think if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. There we go. So there I've got my little mini forest of trees. Just going to cover these up so I don't put ink where I shouldn't. Good evening, lovely Lynn. I hope you're well and recovered from our trip to Vienna. I know you've been busy at work ever since you've got back. Oh, does the sound quiet? Let me just check my settings. Thank you, Heather. Turn it up a little bit. Let me know if that's better, Brenda. Or maybe I was just muttering to myself instead of talking properly. Okay, so do let me know. Okay, so those are my trees in green. I am going to add a little bit of detail with my blending brush and some light blue. Oh good, thank you, Brenda. So this is balmy blue. This is the lightest of the blues that we have at the moment. And I'm just going to add a little bit of detail with the blending brush, just so it's not quite as white. And then I will add a Christmas sentiment. And then if I had my Wink of Stella pen to hand, which I can't quite see, you can add some sparkle onto the trees. We also have some white puff paint that you could heat up and make it look like snow if you wanted to. Okay, now I know that this will look light for you. That's one thing I have learned, is it looks really deep for me, but for you on screen it looks really light. But there's a bit of sky in there. You could do actually quite a nice sunset behind there as well if you wanted to. Okay, so I've just got that laid on there, and then I will add a Christmas sentiment in Evening Evergreen, and I want something really long and thin, so I've got Season's Greetings from the Brightest Glow stamp set, which I think will look nice across the top. So there's Season's Greetings, and I'm just going to check this out on my grid paper. Yeah, that looks pretty straight. So just making sure it's well inked up, and then using my grid paper to keep that straight, and hoping that I then have that straight too. Okay. So we've got Season's Greetings tucked in the top, and I have an Evening Evergreen layer that I can put behind that onto a white card, and then I will do a a navy a blue variation. I've got Starry Sky. Let's just pop some glue onto here. So although there's a fair bit of stamping, because they're quite small stamps, if you didn't have a tree stamp, it would be a good way to make some Christmas cards, and you could do them fairly quickly. I would stamp all of one colour first and then go on to another colour and then repeat. Right, let me find a card to put that on. So I wonder how many of you guessed I was going to make the wisteria into a Christmas tree. In my clues. Let's use the edge of the blocks. I know my bone folder isn't clean, so just going to pop that on there. And then you could add, as I say, you could add sparkle, you could add a little bit of glue and some glitter to this. You could pop some birds in the sky. All sorts of things you could do if you wanted to step it up. I might just add a little bit of bling. And there's our first card. Hopefully you can see that. And then let's do a blue variation. Got this one just slightly smaller piece. Let me just clean my stamps, and then we're just going to repeat that. So I've got Starry Sky and Balmy Blue as my two colours. I could also use Night of Navy. Thank you, Heather. I do like Starry Sky, which I've just put all over my block. And so I'm going to repeat this. And just varying the height. And knowing that I can infill with the lighter colours. Let's do this one down here. Thank you for the thumbs up. And I'm trying not to overlap too much because I don't want it, I don't want the depth of colour to go so dark that you can't distinguish the trees. So I'm just trying to be a little bit careful. And I can of course use this, although this is designed as a detailed tree, detailed piece of wisteria, it's perfect for a little bit of infill. Now I'm going to use Balmy Blue. Because I'm going lighter, I'm going to clean these stamps off. Now if you've got the Peaceful Deer set, for example, you could have this further up and pop some deer in the foreground. And I'm just stamping this off so it's not quite as dark. And I might even stamp it off a second time. And just using a combination to fill it in. Okay. And I want this a little bit darker here because it looks a bit odd. So I'm just going to re-ink that in the darker colour. Like so. There we go. Morning, Kerry. I hope you're well. I hope you've got a decent signal today and that you're not breaking up too much. And I know we don't often catch you of an evening, so, or morning I should say. There we go. So we're using the flower heads from the Wisteria Wonder that we did yesterday, that I expect you probably caught on catch up, to create a Christmas card. So we've done this one in greens, evening evergreen, soft sea foam and soft succulent, and then I'm just doing ones in blues as well. I wonder if I might add a couple of Night of Navy pieces. Let's have a look, see? Just because I've got 3 colours on there and it feels more effective. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, thank you, Kerry. Thought you probably would have caught the replay. There we go. Now, if this is, if you've got this effect that I have, where it's really not very clear, then what you can do is use some ink on your blending brush and just go over that area, so that you've got the effect of the deeper blue. So I'm using Night of Navy, but I haven't got a huge amount on my brush. There we go. And I forgot to put the ribbon on my first one. So I might put a little bit of ribbon on this one. Okay, so there it's sort of, it made it feel more foresty, if that's a word. Okay, take some of that ink off, and then I'm just going to use this over the top. And what I could do is add a little circle for a moon. Let me so this is 3/4 of an inch, and let's grab a larger piece of scrap card. Take it from here. So I've got two things. I can either put this down and put a yellow in there for the sun, or I can do the reverse and cover up a piece that's going to be our moon and then make the rest of that darker. So I think that's what I'm going to do, but I do need a post-it note to do that, or something similar. Masking paper would be good. That post-it note will do the job. So if it's too thin, attach it to a piece of something first and then punch it like that. Okay, so what I can do now is have it here, so I've got a little bit of the trees to, you know, to highlight it, and then I'm going to bring in my blending brush. Don't watch too closely if it's making you feel seasick. Not a good look. So I want this almost to look like the whole thing is a moonlit scene. So by putting the post-it note on there, that's preserving the white space underneath. Like so. Now you can take this really, really dark if you wish. You know me, I'm a bit of a subtle person, and remember, it looks much darker for me than it does for you. Okay, let's have a look and see. There we go. So now we've got a, hopefully you can see that, a little bit of a moon in the sky. And if you wanted to tint that, you know, slightly yellow, for example, you could put the piece that we've cut out and then just use a bit of a yellow blending brush or a pink blending brush if you wanted it to look like it was the sunset rather than a moon. So that's that. And then I'm going to can't decide whether to put my sentiment up here or actually whether I'll put it along here on a little banner. Thank you for the hearts and things. So I've got, this is a little bit too big. This might do. This might be perfect. Like that. And then what I'm going to put my sentiment on there, and then what I can do is flick a little bit of either water to make this look a little bit spotty and almost like snow, or with some Wink of Stella. So let me find a suitable sentiment for this. Now it doesn't have to be Christmas, but I think it fits a Christmas sentiment. And let's see. So Framed and Festive has Merry Christmas from all of us, but I think I'm just going to use Merry Christmas in Starry Sky. Let's give this a go. So I have my dinner cooking. I put the slow cooker on this morning, so I've got a nice beef casserole this evening. Okay, try and get that fairly straight. Add that on. There we go. So that's going to go on there because I've got a lot going on there, and I want to sort of tone that down a little bit. Now I've got a backing layer, or I could do it white and then a backing layer, because this one's a little bit smaller. Oh, that works. That was an absolute fluke, I can tell you, because I just happened to pick up 2 pieces of card. So I'm going to trim this little white piece down just a little bit more. Actually, maybe I don't need to. Okay, now I really want the Wisteria, so I can flick a little bit of glitter over there. So let me look for that, and I'll put this together. Hi Lynn, thanks for joining us. I hope you're well, not working too hard. Let me have a look. Because you can never find a Wisteria pen when you want one. Okay, let me look a little. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. Take these off. And I might add some to this as well. So I'm going to have a little practice. And you need this to be fairly wet to start with. Sorry, I have to take my glasses off, everybody. Oh yes, that's perfectly. Right. Turn that over. Just going to bring this in. Now I don't think you'll see a lot of this. Because it is particularly fine, but I am going to dot some of this Wisteria over the trees, and then I'll hold it up and hopefully you'll see a little bit. Now just be careful when you're doing this on a dark colour, you can pick up some of the ink. Alright, so just be careful where I'm going on the dark here. I don't want to transfer it. So I don't know whether you can see that. I'll put my glasses on. Not sure in this light that it comes out. Let's do it on this one. Now you can flick the tip, but I find, well, I don't want to ruin my tip to start with, and I find doing it with this gives you a little bit more control. Thank you, Lynn. The blue is pretty. So just adding this over here. I'm not doing it in any particular way, but now I've got little sparkles at the top, and again I'll lift it, but I'm not sure whether you can see any of that. Right, let's put those together, and we've got 2 Christmas cards from, apart from the sentiment, a non-Christmas set. Just going to trim this a little bit. So Wisteria Wishes is in the sale. So don't forget to grab one. Now I have listed my top 10 recommended products. So there's a mixture there of stamps. I think I've got an embossing folder in there, and I've got some of the standard dies that I use most of the time. So you can see that on my Facebook page. I posted it just a little bit earlier. And it will take you straight to my shop to purchase, or you can email me an order if you prefer, or if you're a demonstrator you can order for yourself. There we go. Okay, I'm just being careful with that because obviously the Wisteria is still slightly wet, so I've just got this extra layer on here just so that that blue really stands out. And I'm at another craft fair. This is a Christmas craft fair at Barn Owl. Trying to think what it's called. It's not Garden Centre. Can't think what it is, but it's Cloisters Farm, just outside of Evenley, on the way to the 421 if you're local. Okay, so I've got my layers here, and I've just cut them to fit, really. I haven't really got any set measurements for that. Pop that one on there. I think I will use some dimensionals for that, and then we're all done, she says. Here they are, right in front of me, as they often are. So there we go. So we've got coffee and card at the Lounge Cafe Bar in Brackley tomorrow, if anybody is local and wants to join us, between 3 and 4 p.m. And we're using a new stamp set that will be coming out in the January catalogue, but is available on early release. And let's grab white card and we're done. So I know Lynn prefers the blue variation. Let me know which one you prefer, the blue or the green. Ah, stylish shape dies and the cracker dies. Yes, I ordered the cracker dies as well. Which is funny that they are in the annual catalogue, because they came out before, from last year. So yes, having seen them and been the recipient of them at Onstage, I ordered them too. Kerry likes them both. Heather likes the blue. Thank you, Heather. I think I like the blue, but only because it's more scenic, because I've added the moon and stuff like that. just going to turn that over and press it down. Hi Linda, hope you had a good afternoon. There we go. So there's our sparkly trees. Let me see if I can, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, maybe you can. Maybe you can. So there we go. A wisteria plant flower turned into a Christmas tree. So there's the blue variation with the moon, and then there's a green variation here. And then this is what we created yesterday. So all I've done is taken those, turn them that way up, and created 2 Christmas cards. So I hope you like those. They have some good oh yes, they do have some good sentiments. They are nice. Okay. Yes, sentiment boxes, you're right, I beg your pardon, I realised what you meant now. With the cracker dies, yes, there's lots of little banners and things, aren't there? I have to say I didn't look at it closely, I just decided that's what I wanted to order. So I did. So if you want anything from the sale, then that's from the annual catalogue. Then do let me know before 9 PM tomorrow. I'll put my last order in at 9:30 tomorrow. I don't like to leave it to the last minute, just in case. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. Let me bring these down a little bit. I hope you like the cards that we've made. I'm off to go and enjoy my dinner. Let me just bring this one up to the screen. There's that one there. That's the blue variation. Starry Sky, Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. And then this one here. I've used Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent and Soft Sea Foam. And then a little bit of Balmy Blue in the background. And then for this one, Balmy Blue and a little darker colour that was already on the blending brush from doing around this moon area. Okay, that's it. That's me done. My dinner is certainly calling me now. Do have a great evening, morning for you, Kerry. Thank you ever so much for joining me, everybody. And I appreciate your time. Sorry, this one's gone a little bit longer than I intended. But I look forward to catching up with you next week. It's Barn Owl Farm, that's where I am on Saturday for my craft fair if you're local, and I will be back Monday morning. Yes, it is Monday morning at 10 AM, and we'll carry on with a new stamp set. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate your support and help. Do give a thumbs up or like, whatever you fancy, or hop over and watch me on YouTube. And whichever way, if you have any queries or questions that I can help you with Stampin' Up, then just pop that in the comment section, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, and I'll get back to you. Thanks, Kerry, for your kind words. I will let you know how it goes. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.